Hey friend, I have a guided reading for you today. Feel free as I'm talking to gaze at the cards, use your own intuition, see what kind of tickles your own intuition a little bit there. Remember, some things are going to resonate more, some things are going to resonate less, but the important part is if you're growing. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guiding our reading today, I have Solace. Solace is that bridge between the physical and the non-physical, between where we're at right now or, our old life and where we want to go, right? So Solace is reminding us that we're kind of in this in-between state right now, that we are no longer in the old life, but that the new life is still kind of forming, right? Starting out, we have the moon. With the moon, I'm getting this impression that maybe right now you're not seeing the bigger picture, right? You're following your intuition and you're moving forward, but you still have certain doubts, right? You have those fears, those anxieties, that subconscious programming that says that you're not safe, or that the direction you're going isn't going to work. And then you might have, that little bit unconscious kind of programming that comes from that domesticated view of take the safe path, do this thing because this is, the way we've always done it, right? You, however, are this little creature here, this little Piscean creature, the crab coming out of the water, and you're on this trail moving along. You need to ignore those naysaying voices. You need to ignore anything that makes you feel doubt, fear, anxiety about where you're going. You have this sureness, this, direction for you to just move past, follow along the trail, because you have your eyes set on something new. You have this Ace of Pentacles, right? Continue down the trail. Eventually you reach this pillar, you reach the pinnacle here, right? The thing that you want for yourself, the reality you want to experience in your life, right? And it's not just a daydream at this point. It's something you've taken action on. It's something that you have built toward, that you've been learning the skills, that you've been putting into practice, and this can be a reality for you, and that this is a reality for you, but you have to allow the little seedling that has sprouted to be able to grow, right? We don't go from a little seedling to a full-fledged tree that's producing its fruits overnight. It takes time, right? And the thing is, because you have this thing you want, because you've set out, you come to this Eight of Pentacles energy, right? No, Eight of Cups, not Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Cups is that, F this, I'm done, this isn't satisfying, right? Maybe, you were making ends meet. Maybe you have, just enough to get by, but there's no real satisfaction, no real passion, no joy in just getting by and just being. So you've taken off and you've moved in a new direction. Sometimes when we move in a new direction, we might feel a little bit of grief, right? We have the Five of Cups. There is that energy of there's these things I'm leaving behind. There could be relationships, people, situations, job, something that you're leaving behind, but you still have all this brand new potential. You still have so much joy and excitement and things ahead of you. And you can choose to focus on, the old things that you're leaving behind and the sadness and the grief, or you can choose to focus on the excitement and the brand new things. Because what you choose to focus on, what you choose to give your thoughts to, your energy, your emotions, and what you put your actions toward, those are the things that are going to build the life that you want for yourself. You are this Queen of Wands. You realize that you have this very magnetic kind of energy. Maybe it's occurred to you recently that I really am creating my reality, right? Your energy, your passion, your fire, it creates this light within you that's magnetic and really pulls toward you whatever you're, focusing on. So you want to go ahead and focus on the new reality, whether you necessarily see it right now or not. What you continue to focus on is what you're going to attract toward you. It's an inevitability. We have the Two of Wands, right? You have this waiting, you see the world is ahead of you, you got the world at your fingertips. You know now that you have all the possibilities, but you still have to wait for your ships to arrive, for you to board the ship, to get on, to move into the new world. So you're thinking to yourself, well, what do I do in this meantime? What am I doing in this in-between state? And what you're doing, what you want to do, is just step into your joy. We have the sun. This is that renewed joy, right? The kind of innocence that comes from having had experiences and choosing your joy anyway, as opposed to the fool just being joyous and free because they don't know better. You know better now. You've had your own experiences in life, and you've made the decision that you want to be free. You've made the decision that you want to be happy. And because you've done that, this is where you take the time to nurture yourself. We have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? So the Queen of Pentacles, she's that self-care queen. She's that mother. She's very good at holding space. She's good nurturing. She loves to cook and care for those who are important to her. This is what you're doing for yourself. You want to take time to care for that inner joy, to care for that renewed sense of life and vitality. Take the time to nurture yourself. Just be kind to yourself. This moment is that period of gestation. So just give yourself some grace, give yourself some mercy. And the thing is, as you continue to care for yourself, you're going to find this is actually part of the alchemical process, right? We have temperance, right? You would think of temperance as the angel with the 2 cups pouring one into another. The care that you put in with that Queen of Pentacles energy is, in fact, the alchemy that's going to convert the lead to gold. Right now, you're at silver. You're in that intermediate kind of stage. You have something valuable. You have something good, but you need to continue to put work in. You need to continue to polish it, right? You have this available to you. And as you're continuing to put in the work and you're just kind of really just doing the thing without thinking too much about, where you're at as, am I not getting the thing? When is the thing going to come? Then you get a surprise. Then comes the Tower. It comes out of nowhere. The thing about a surprise is it can't be a surprise if you were expecting it, right? You don't know when the thing is going to come true. You don't know when you're going to have that moment, but you are going to have that moment. But the thing is, you have to relax enough and just be where you are and care for yourself to give that space for the universe to kind of send that lightning bolt to really allow things to change. And when you do, well, things change. We have the Wheel of Fortune, right? This is moving from one experience in your life to a radically different one. That rags to riches type of an energy. This is when like I said, you've relaxed, you give yourself the nurturing, you take the time and care for yourself, and then the universe takes that moment when you're not, trying to be all vigilant, looking, whatever, to surprise you, and your life changes. And we move from that Queen of Wands energy into the King of Wands, okay? And I'm not saying that this is necessarily for somebody who's just masculine or just feminine. You're coming from this energy of that receptive, magnetic, attractive energy to a more projective, more active type of a manifestation. When you think about whether the stream is moving toward you or whether the stream is moving away from you, really only depends on which direction you're looking in the stream. It is that same energy, that Queen of Wands versus the King of Wands, the attracting versus the creating, in the sense of a more active type of an energy, is the same thing. And you're coming to this realization and you have this expectation, right? He's got his hand open and he knows that what he has created, he knows that what he wants is there and ready and available for him. And he knows that he can accept the help. All right, friends, if you're enjoying this, would you do me a favor and leave me a like and drop a sunflower in the comments? If you do that, that's really helpful for the algorithm. Shows me that you see me. All right, next up, I have the 10 of Wands, okay? So you feel burdened right now, but you also feel like you're almost to the end of your journey, right? We have the town ahead here. Maybe the guy with the 10 of Wands, he doesn't see the village ahead. He can only see the road immediately in front of him. He's looking down a little bit and he's got this huge bundle. So you might feel burdened. You might feel like, when do I get to the destination? When does the trail end? You're really close, right? Like I said, that village is just off in the distance. And when you have that lightning strike, when you have that Tower moment, it brings you into this 8 of Wands, that expansion energy, that Jupiter energy, right? And Jupiter is very active right now, and it's going to be for a little while, right? You have this expansive energy, and the thing is, what's expanding is this 9 of Pentacles reversed, okay? I'm not saying poverty, loss that's expanding. What's expanding is you're expanding beyond the boundaries and the borders of this Nine of Pentacles. Maybe you're a self-made individual. Maybe you are self-reliant to the point to where you haven't allowed others to help you, and maybe you are subconsciously blocking that. That expansive energy is going to move you beyond that. It's going to move you beyond just being you by yourself. Yes, you are fantastic and wonderful by yourself, but when you work with somebody else, you have this synergy, right? The lovers, that connection between the mind and the heart, the masculine and the feminine. Somebody is available to help you, whether you see it right now or not. Remember, the idea here is to get yourself out of the mentality of looking at what you see right now and expecting that's the only thing. Because if you are in that energy of the moon from the beginning and you don't see everything that's going on, you kind of have to trust where you're at. You have to trust each step as you take it. And the thing is, though, this will be surprising for you. You're going to find yourself inspired. We have that Page of Cups, right? The little bird popping out of the cup here, the way that the fish would be popping up in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. You will find yourself inspired. You will find that somebody wants to come along and give you an idea, give you some sort of creative inspiration, really help you out. And the thing is, this is all for your growth, right? We have that Five of Wands. When it comes to the Five of Wands, that's the practice, the playful competition that creates skills, that really develops you, to really helps you grow. Whether somebody comes along and they just offer you an idea, or whether they come along and offer you a relationship, there is going to be something of that element of challenge that comes in a way that's about your growth. It's going to make it where you have to rethink the way you do things. It's going to make you have to kind of choose different actions and things, and you're going to find those actions are actually going to be super helpful for you, and they're going to move you into the Emperor, right? When you realize that those that are around you, that those you are relating to are helping you to grow, you can learn to really let go and release, right? The Emperor, he's sovereign. He really, rules over his empire very well. But the thing is, he's very good at delegating. He recognizes people's strengths and weaknesses, and he goes, you know what? I think this person would be perfect for this task, and I think this person would be perfect for that. Because of that understanding, his empire flourishes even greater than if he were just trying to do things by himself. And you realize that you don't have to juggle everything. You don't have to keep all the balls in the air, that you can allow somebody else to help. And when you allow others to help you out, this is when you get the thing. This is when your divine justice comes in, when the karmic scales rebalance and your manifestation comes true. All right, friends, I hope this is encouraging for you. Remember, you are in an in-between state right now. You've left the old thing behind because you've made the decision you want something new for yourself. You have a vision. It's something that you have some sort of beginning tangible results to let you know that it is, in fact, a reality. Be kind to yourself. Care for yourself, really nurture yourself, be in the moment, so that way you are open and give the universe an opportunity to surprise you. Give the universe an opportunity to allow somebody to show up and either offer you some sort of idea, support, connection, whatever it is. And this is going to help you improve. This is going to help you really develop and grow as a person and relax and then allow some of that effort that you've been putting in to be delegated out, so that way you don't have to be stressing, juggling all the balls by yourself, and that's when your manifestation really comes true. If this was helpful for you, I would love it if you would leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. I have a fairy tale now if you want to check out that I have created, or you can go in and check out my tarot readings, and I'll see you in the next one.